Los Tutanakas. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Max. Welcome back. GCFC Monday nights. You've been listening to the homie Leo Wolf. Spelled exactly how you'd imagine. Leo Wolf, the homie out in Charlotte, North Carolina, who I played with about 2 weeks ago. Out there. Are they playing? Are they playing Poland? What? The Leo Wolf is playing a festival in Poland? Who are you talking to? Oh wait. We got the wrong. I don't have the full chat going. I don't understand. Anyways, what we got? That was Leo Wolf. I saw your shadow on the wall. The homie out in Charlotte. Hope everybody is doing swell. Oh, I was talking about Los Tutanakas. No, I just like saying Los Tutanakas. Sorry for the confusion. No, that's literally just because I like saying Los Tutanakas. Just a little stim I got going on. Hope everybody's doing swell. Shout outs once again to the homies at Tape Trade for supporting the public stream, keeping it free on Mondays for everybody to participate, sending your songs, hosting us on lossless web and app player, now with the ability to share and edit group playlists. So fantastic for working on that EPK or sending A and B and C and D mixes to and from your bandmates and your producer. Just a more effective tool than the big evil corpse. You know what I'm talking about. Plus, it doesn't sound good. I don't enjoy using Google Drive for this stuff. It just doesn't sound good. Dropbox, no bueno. If you gotta go in browser, go Tape Trade. Shout outs to them. We have ourselves a new monthly project that was announced today, and I want to read about it with you. So we only got 3 submissions for the Fight Club this evening. That's okay if it's a short one. That's alright. Hope everybody had a good Father's Day, by the way. Okay. Group Critique monthly project for the midway points for June through July 2026. This is the field performance prompt with our guest facilitator, Joseph Allred, who I also played a show with while on tour. The legend from Tennessee themselves, in the flesh, or virtually at least. A really swell person. Captivating speaker. Hearing them give banter in between songs during the performance. And also, when I played with Joseph in Nashville, right as Joseph was sort of culminating in their set, the Celtics, Jesus Christ. That's the other team I root for sometimes. The Knicks won their penultimate game, the one where OG Anunoby did that like miraculous Renaissance painting of a tip-off right at the very end. Joseph played it off. Joseph blessed the Knicks. Let the record show that Joseph brought it around, and it was just smooth. It was just victories from there. Shout outs to Joseph Allred, going to be our guest facilitator for this project. All right, getting into the prompt for this monthly project, getting into the text score for y'all, reading it out. The definition of the act of field recording is to capture sound outside of the recording studio. In case anybody didn't realize, that's literally just what it means. It's just anything outside of the controlled recording environment. The field could be your kitchen, your backyard, a city street, truly anywhere beyond the controlled and acoustically treated recording environment. The act of field recording is simple, but is by no means passive, and even less so if we invoke the act of musical performance within the context of the field. It could be a voice memo of your friend playing guitar at a campfire. It could be an overnight drop rig capturing the activity of nocturnal insects. It could be a shitty tape recording of your neighborhood bird songs captured on a Walkman. What's crucial is to record with intention and illustrate the field for your listener. So for this month's project, we are going to perform with this site-specific intentionality in mind. You are to pick a space in the field that speaks to you as a performer, one that you can perform in duo perhaps, and you are to record 3 to 5 minutes of improvisation within this space using an acoustic recording device. That means something that uses a microphone that captures vibration in the air and not a DI input, okay? So we need to hear the space around you as well as the instrument that you're playing. Your choice of instrument can be entirely acoustic or it can be entirely electronic, and anything in between. So as long as you have a means of amplifying any electronic signal with some sort of mobile speaker in the field, okay? So we want to hear it out loud, okay? No DIs. We need to be able to hear your choice of instrument as well as the space it inhabits at all times, okay? If you want to do a DJ set, if you want to do a Eurorack set, I need to hear it through some sort of amp or speaker outside and recorded via the air, via the field, not via a direct input into an interface, okay? We are thrilled to have the brilliant guitarist, composer, and improviser Joseph Allred joining us this month as guest facilitator. Joseph is no stranger to field recording performance, and I would hope that their work will act as some sort of inspiration for how one might duet with the world around them. You don't need to be in the Appalachian wilderness to capture a worthwhile field. Beauty is in the ear of the beholder. Listen deeply, break a leg, submit your recordings. Monday, July 20th, at our usual time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on the Group Critique Fight Club Discord on the monthly project thread. You know how it is. All right? It's going to be a good one. And for those that have been part of the club since the early years, late 2020, early 2021, we had a similar field performance prompt, though we didn't have a guest facilitator sitting in. And when I was thinking about recycling some goodies for some new folks, I thought that this would be like such a good one to get Joseph in. And, you know, having just met the guy, I think they'll have a lot to say. They come off quiet online, but when we put a microphone in front of them, they were telling jokes. They were giving great stories, great politics, just an overall well-rounded, intelligent, and articulate person, and who could fucking shred, by the way. I'm not going to put him on the spot. But, you know, maybe we'll have a little guitar. We'll see. All right. That is your monthly project for this month. We have another good one for July into August that I'm excited for as well. Just figuring that out now and finalizing that. Trying to get things in motion ahead of time now that I'm back from tour and not doing that again for at least the summer. Probably the rest of the year. Feeling my age, y'all. 35 years old, sitting in a car for 6 hours a day, 7 days in a row, and then sleeping on a futon or an air mattress or a couch. It gets to you, all right? Last few tours I've done were a little bit shorter, or I had breaks. And breaks are good, but, you know, no rest for the wicked and no paid time off for your boy. So, had to just get through it. You know, time is money. But yeah, my knees hurt. Feeling a little old. It's okay. It's chill. Anyways, glad to be back. We have some tracks. Let me open this John up. Hold on. Okie dokie. Welcome back to our ever-growing June playlist here. I can make my video screen a little bit smaller. Doesn't need to be that big, right? Okay, that's a little better. Who do we have? Maya submitted something last week that we didn't have time to get to, plus my computer was being a little annoying. Cuckoo, you sent the wrong track? Oh, whoops. Okay. Let me re-download that real quick before we start and replace the track. Yours was the Zulki theme. Let me delete it and put the new one in real quick before we start. And then let me read off what Maya wrote to us. Sorry. Upload the new track. Drag it down. What we got? Okay. Cool. Okay, so Maya sent us something last week. Old experiments with texture, some recorded metal water bottle, and some synth. All right. Cool description. Easy peasy. It's a short one, so we'll listen to it a couple times. Let's get into it. In that back, also, the rain started again right as that song started. Lovely deep listening going on in my home office right now, Maya. Setting the standard. All right, one more time. Let's listen through. Beautiful, absolutely lovely, and agreed with Breathplay in the chat as a great for a puzzle game. Maya, I'm curious if this is a for the game that you're scoring, because I know you're working on one, or scoring one rather, because this would be just the simple repetition, even just the little flam you got going on the top, a couple little variations in your melody, were really lovely, but it doesn't insist in itself that it needs to be more than a minute and a half long loop or something like that. I think that, like, if this is just an experiment for the sake of itself, it's absolutely lovely, and we can find ways to develop this into a full song length. But, like, the way that I'm hearing this as already, like, very repetitive and sequential, in a lot of its instruments, loop based, to me, I was immediately with Breath Play thinking, like, what type of game this would be a great score for, and just the simplicity and the whimsy of it. Like, it's not just major keyed, but it's like, it's innocent, it's simple in a way that's evocative of not necessarily story, but simplicity and innocence that might come with a puzzle game, that might come with something that isn't really meant to be thematically challenging, as far as, like, the purpose of the puzzle. Sometimes it just is, right? And this works pretty well as just something that just is. It just exists, and it's on loop, and it's simple, and it's pleasing, and it's not necessarily begging to develop further beyond just beating this level. This is a great example of, like, simple mechanisms of ludo musicology, as they call it. Ludo meaning to play in Latin. It's what video game composers and scholars of video game music refer to, the theories that go into composing video game music specifically, as opposed to kino musicology, the theories that go into film music, and obviously just musicology for theatrical purposes in general. The idea that in, ludo musicology, this is interactive media that could be potentially endless in duration. I talk about this all the time, but I mean, like, this shit has to loop. This shit has to feel good on loop. It has to be simple in that way, because you don't know how long you're going to be stuck on this puzzle or on this level or whatever, and it's why earworms can be so, are real necessary in a lot of these contexts of especially simple and early forms of video game music. But in this case, I mean, the earworm's already with me. You know what I mean? It's probably with a bunch of you too, listening to this twice. Do 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 do. You know what I mean? Like, it's got legs. It's already got legs to it, which is great. I just think that if we gotta, I would love more context as to, where you see this going. And it's, if there's intention related to the game that you're working on or not. Because it obviously changes things a little bit if you wanted to develop this into just a formal song for the sake of itself. Why would we make music for the sake of itself? A song with words and, like, chord changes and stuff? Crazy. If you are to write a song with this, you know what I mean? Like, then what we're hearing as far as that melody, that little earworm, is concerned, is our counter melody to some lead instrument that isn't necessarily there yet. Unless you're planning on keeping this simple, almost lullitone style, minimal electronics involved, and keeping it this restrained conceptually on purpose. And lullitone, for anybody that don't know, check them out. Goated, simple, I guess dream pop if you want to call it, but, like, really stripped down, threadbare electronic project based in Japan. Shout outs to Lullitone. They followed me back on Instagram, and I'm like, damn, man, I've known about you guys since, like, the 8th grade, from, like, hearing this on, like, an anime compilation of some sort. I don't remember. ironically an American guy living in Japan with a Japanese wife who's sometimes in the band. Anyways, this had straight Lullatone vibes for sure. Definitely check them out as an idea for, and they've done film and video game scores before, but as an idea of how to develop this simplicity in poppiness into a still formal song structure, but not necessarily any less repetitive. They're just ways to develop this even in simple loops, you know, even just building out the instrumentation and then stripping it back down at certain points. If you wanted to develop this further, if this is strictly for video game scoring, man, I would love for you to make multiple versions of this, different versions of the same melodic or chordal motifs that you've developed here. That's very common in video game scoring. And a good exercise for anybody working in more traditional melody and harmony development of just like stick with some of the same tools, repeat them, find ways to, you know, develop one idea through a few different contexts. You know, I'm not just saying like do the just piano version, but like slow it down, start with just the melody and see if you can rephrase it with different chords, perhaps, you know, even just trying starting with the relative minor if you're in major, but keeping a relatively, you know, pretty much the same melody as a starting off point. I think that would be pretty interesting. Would work well for both standard song development, but also for various short miniature themes to be used in the video game context. That wouldn't be reinventing the wheel at all to think that way. Pokemon Game Boy, fantastic example of that. The fight theme in Pokemon, fantastic example of that. They have so many different versions of the motif that have been used in the anime and the Game Boy game through all the other games. Good video game composition. It's got legs to it. It could be generational legs. I want to hear more about this from you, Maya. Send it up. I don't think they're in the chat today. Unacceptable. No, it's okay. All right. Snake Plissken, you're up. What do we got? Who do we got? What do we got? We have See-Through Demo version 2. I don't know if Snake Plissken is with us live in the chat or not, but we're going to listen. We're going to talk about it. Let's get it.
Out the night
All right, all right, all right. Very nice. Very nice. Giving me some Enya. Giving me a little less theatrical, but still little Kate Bush in there. Giving me some ethereal elements in the choice of reverbs or the amount of reverbs and delays, and also just like the built-in I don't know if it's actually a slapback delay on that tom pattern, but if it's not, it should be. You should make it even more clearly a slapback. I was just imagining like turning up a feedback of the slapback, if that's the case. If not, if it's just do 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 do, that's fine. Maybe find some ways to expand on the loop a little bit more as far as the drums goes. Like I was waiting for the rototoms. I was waiting for like the power gated snare, like deep. I don't know. Like it was giving true 80s sort of nostalgia when it came to a lot of the production on that, and so I was just waiting for a bit more development on the drums. Before getting to your technical issue that I see folks are talking about in the chat, which is great, we might have already solved it, but I had noticed, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the bass synth itself doesn't come in until basically the outro around the 3 minutes and 45-second mark. I mean, I'm just going to skim through one more time. Okay, it starts it. Okay. Hold on. Okay, it's there at the beginning. When does it leave? Because I noticed it gone for a while.
Can it be you did
Might just be in that final third, and then it comes back at the very end. What I was thinking, though, especially just now listening to it now and correcting myself even right off the jump, is it's not necessary. It's a bit too blended as a sine wave instrument, using these sine wavy sort of electro toms. It's blending in. Doom, doom. It has an almost timpani sort of I don't know, pitched percussion sort of sound to it being a sine wave that is linked specifically with much of the accents of the drum pattern. I was just thinking like more like we could get a little schlocky. We can get a little funky. You could put some licks or some fills occasionally in the bass instrument specifically. You don't have to change. It doesn't have to be not like a sine wave heavy bass synth, but like imagining doom boom doom doom, you know, a couple off notes, not necessarily just hitting every accent with the drums, feeling it like a bassist would, like Sade's bassist would, you know, like how do we bring soul into the rhythm section beyond just the repetitions, you know, as they are, you know. I think in general, just, and this is drums and bass, that's your rhythm section, just a bit more development on that to sort of like, you know, you said it from the start, like it's a pop song. Like I think that like there are ways in which we can maintain the ethereal nature to this. That is the takeaway, no doubt. But just like it could still be fun, it could still be playful, it could still be funky, while maintaining this fog around it. You know what I mean? Those were my main thoughts just listening to it now. It's just more development in rhythm section in drums and bass. Now, you were talking about, first of all, I did not notice a lag or timing issue as you had written in the chat. My question is to you, based on the interface that you're using, is do you have the ability is there a mix knob on your interface that will, like, you could choose how much all the way USB signal you're hearing directly from the computer versus how much you're getting directly from the input? I have an SSL interface, and it's got the monitoring sort of knob, which allows you to go 100% USB, 100% direct input, and hear nothing from the computer. And when you go to the 100% input, there's no computer slowing it down. There's no latency. It's just like a DI box that you're hearing in the headphones when you use that. Now, I know that not all interfaces have that. I'm not sure about I'm not sure what you got in the studio at home. If you don't have the ability to, you know, use the hardware to determine how much of a, you know, direct input mix versus from the computer mix you're getting, then yes, like Kareem said, it comes down to the buffer size. Changing the buffer size, it depends on depends on your how much CPU is being sucked up. Believe like having a bigger buffer size is meant to bring down the latency. I forget, man. More important than that is closing out all other applications that could be taking up CPU energy. Even going offline, like turning your Wi-Fi off and doing that helps a lot. But more so than that, if this goes for everybody, I don't know what the deal is on Focusrites, and they say I've tried stuff with buffer size, but I gotta keep trying. I haven't tried the closing out stuff. Yes. Well, what interface do you have, Snake Plissken? Let us know in the chat. I don't know some other brands. Small buffer size for reduced latency, higher buffer size for bigger CPU loads. Gotcha. Okay, thank you for the distinction. So, smaller buffer reduces the latency, but can fuck with your CPU. Vice versa, can help with your CPU when you are working on a mega project, but might create some latency. Recording versus playback. Gotcha. That's good. Very well spoken. Thank you, Kareem, for articulating that for us. So, small buffer size, good for recording. Higher buffer size, good for playback. It's on the forum, but it's a bit of a saga. I will check on the forum later. It's a bit of a saga. Okay. All right. Well, in any case, for anybody, what I'm talking about here about monitor mixing, for whatever reason, when working with microphones or any sort of direct input, it's good to be able to find a way to handle that with as little latency as possible, even if you're not necessarily getting like the live plugins. That's the other thing too. Are you recording with plugins engaged? Turn those off if you have latency issues. Go in raw. It's not going to sound as great than with the reverb on, obviously, but you'll be able to get the take. As a singer, I'm always doing one ear in, one ear out, anyways. So that is also important, how you're monitoring yourself acoustically, let's say. But this was brought up with me when I was doing my tour because I have a little, fancy earbud, basically. Fancy earbuds, in-ear monitors. And originally I was sending them out for my interface, as one might, even just for playback. And I was running into a couple issues as even just like leveling that made for, a pain in the ass. So I switched it to my onstage mixer, which I don't know if you own a mixer, Snake Plissken, but using that as a preamp before going into your interface will also allow you to have your headphones at the very least coming out of that. Now I know then you won't be able to hear from the computer, but it does, going direct hardware does actually reduce all latency in that matter. But more important than that, if you have a Focusrite or if you have one of the more bottom of the barrel interfaces that doesn't have a lot of features on it, try upgrading when you can to something more middle of the road. The SSLs is not that. It's twice as much as the cheapest Focusrite, but it has a lot more to it, including just the monitor mix knob. I don't know if the Focusrites even have that. I'm trying to see here. Hold on. Focusrite interface. Anyone know if it's got the monitoring knob built into it or not? Let's see here. Let's see. This is just the Scarlett. The basic, right? Doesn't look like it. I can already see. Yeah. It's got your instrument. Okay, it's the Focusrite Saga. Okay, it's a Saga. That's what you meant when you said it's a Saga. Yeah, it seems to be just oh, well, there's the direct button. The direct button on that, if you have that, the direct button is meant to give you, see, there's a toggle switch on these for direct monitor mode. So in that case, though, I don't know if you're going to be able to hear what's coming out of the computer if you're just doing direct monitor mode, but that will get rid of your latency issue because you'll just be hearing DI directly from the box itself. Someone report back to me when it comes to the direct monitor mode. I know we got to move on, but I would be curious because what would be the point of just doing direct monitor mode if you're not able to potentially also partially hear, the computer playback? That's why I like the monitor knob rather than a toggle. Anyways, someone report back. Someone with a Focusrite report back. But anyways, hopefully that helps you as far as some troubleshooting goes with your latency problems. But otherwise, compositionally, let's develop that rhythm section a bit more. Okay. Thank you. All right, we got Cuckoo up next. They write to us. So this is the band I'm in. We decided to write a track where we brag about how awesome we are as a group. Way to motivate ourselves as our new endeavor. Been nostalgia tripping for 2010s UK type bass music lately, Cooley G in particular, and I wanted the drums to go loud. Oh, you have the new version of it. Good. Okay, let's listen to the Julki theme. Is it Julki? Zulki? You let me know. Julki? Try to anglicize how we type that out for me. Julki theme. Let's go.
Hej, hej, hej. Yeah. Czuki są dwa, to jest trzy ekipa. Jolan, Kuku, Dream Squad, nic nie zatrzyma nas, ej. Czuki są dwa, to jest trzy ekipa. Jolan, Kuku, Dream Squad, nic nie zatrzyma nas. Kiedy czuki robią bas, to ziemia się trzęsie. Kiedy czuki robią track, już wiesz, że to banger. It's okej, to be epic, pływamy na nowy brzeg. Przecieramy nowe szlaki, odnajduję w tańcu zew. Zew, zew.
Czuki są dwa, to jest trzy ekipa. Jolan, Kuku, Dream Squad, nic nie zatrzyma nas. Ej, czuki są dwa, to jest trzy ekipa. Jolan, Kuku, Dream Squad, nic nie zatrzyma nas.
ej.
Pracuję 9 to 5 i potem 9 to 5 beat, potem 9 to 5 sleep i repeat jest hit. Kiedy patrzę na niebo, to za mało mi przestrzeni. Czuki lecą w kosmos, wpierdalając biel mieni. Ale bym w sobie w sumie zjadł takiego.
I think we gotta listen to that one again, dog. I think we gotta run it back. Chulki Sampa. Please give us the translation, Kuku, in the chat. We don't speak Polish. I'll work on it. One more time. For the people in the back.
Hej, hej, hej. Yeah. Czuki są dwa, to jest trzy ekipa. Jolan, Kuku, Dream Squad, nic nie zatrzyma nas, ej. Czuki są dwa, to jest trzy ekipa. Jolan, Kuku, Dream Squad, nic nie zatrzyma nas. Kiedy czuki robią bas, to ziemia się trzęsie. Kiedy czuki robią track, już wiesz, że to banger. It's okej, to be epic, pływamy na nowy brzeg. Przecieramy nowe szlaki, odnajduję w tańcu zew. Zew, zew.
Czuki są dwa, to jest trzy ekipa. Jolan, Kuku, Dream Squad, nic nie zatrzyma nas. Ej, czuki są dwa, to jest trzy ekipa. Jolan, Kuku, Dream Squad, nic nie zatrzyma nas.
ej.
Pracuję 9 to 5 i potem 9 to 5 beat, potem 9 to 5 sleep i repeat jest hit. Kiedy patrzę na niebo, to za mało mi przestrzeni. Czuki lecą w kosmos, wpierdalając biel mieni. Ale bym w sobie w sumie zjadł takiego.
Oh, yeah. If you're using this as an anthem to start the show, you know that also means you're going to have to end it with this, right? This is candy, man. This is ear candy. I'm having a blast listening to this. This is fun as fuck. See, this feels way more genuine to me than anything Fuckers does. I know that they are also going for this blast in the past kind of, bass music, pouty rap, sort of anthemic attitude in vocal delivery going on here. But I love like the rawness of this. Yeah, fuckers, but with the C. You know what I'm fucking talking about. Fucking Dime Square, Manhattan, bullshit. I think it's way more interesting that y'all are Polish doing this and that I don't understand what you were saying except for the few things. You said 9 to 5. We're talking about 9 to 5. I don't know if you said Chuki's on fire or if that I'm just not hearing that. That's true. Fuckers do need to pay respect. There's just a whole Aesthetic Revisionism in the Age of the Vibe Zone, an essay written by Max Alper for Viscose Journal, October 2025. That's all I have to say on the matter. At least Cuckoo here is acknowledging the roots of what's going on here, name dropping the influence specifically, and very clearly much in homage to that. But it is a throwback, no doubt. But I think that like maintaining the rawness of this is key, you know, like I wouldn't produce the vocals in this more really than what you got. Maybe like a bit more crispy. It's a bit low endy in your EQ, like a bit, you know, a bit poppy down there. Brighten it up a little bit, you know, like turn down the darkness in the voice. But like, I love the candidness, the home recording quality of this. Even if it's raw, even if it's unmixed right now, like maintain this candidness. Seriously, maintain this intimacy in the sound. I think it's really fun, and it like plays well into the delivery, being like you're not like over projecting by any means, you know. It's very homely, it's very on fire, you know what I mean? Like you're not like this will be hard for you to pull off live because you're gonna want to be louder when you do this live, and so you're gonna like yell it naturally, but try to maintain this quieter home sort of performance sound to it. I think that there's like an intimacy and closeness to this. I'd love to learn how to produce vocals more. I mean, sure, it's about EQing and compression and gate if you're in a loud room, I suppose. Everything else, I mean, you should have a little reverb on this on an auxiliary channel, but like what I'm saying is like maintaining this closeness would require not actually producing this in a formal poppy way, but maintaining this rawness, you know. The low-key vocal production is very charming. That's what I'm saying. Like it's pretty raw on its own. The only thing I would really do is just maybe brighten up the highs a bit on the EQ just for a bit more sibilance, and like a bit lower the low end of that, so it's not as like your pops aren't popping as much. Compress it forward, but don't over compress it, because then it will sound like too really intentional in that way. Like I like a little bit of distance in your dynamics in the voice, you know what I mean? Do you think the tracks could be longer? I have more text. Yeah, by all means, dude. This is not music that requires like big developments and big changes and stuff like that. We're having fun. We listened to it twice. You know, it's less than 2 minutes long. You could make this a 3-minute track and maintain it. Just pass the mic back and forth to each other. Do another 2 verses. Go for it. Seriously. But it's also fun, makes me want to play it again. I mean, yes, like I think regardless of whether this is 1 minute and 40 seconds or 3 minutes or something in between, if you're doing this live, you got to start with it and you got to end with it. Like you got to like lay into that like tongue-in-cheek goofiness of having a theme song, and like start and end it and start it and close it. I think it would be hilarious and really fun as just like, you know, a callback outro music for your set, just doing it all over again. I think would be really fun. I know plenty of bands that have done that, and it's always funny. It is funny, but it is also fun when it's a good ass song that people want to dance to, which, you know, you got here. So yeah, man, just a nudging in the vocal channels. And we can get more into it in detail if you want to experiment on that. Give us some more drafts, try it out. Try developing this, another 2 verses to this, and doing some brightening up in the vocals. Get back to us with a new version. Let's hear it, dog. All right. Closing us out this evening, we have Tegan. This will be a lead in a thrashy punky jazzy hardcore band I'm in? ? It is made up of samples nabbed from jam sessions. Okay. Interesting method. Oh man, we gotta hear that one again. We need the drop into the song. If this is the intro, you're teasing us with some chugging at the end, and then it's gonna drop into something and cut it off. Then, oops, there's my alarm. Let's just do one more time. Yo. Leaving us right there. I'm just waiting for like full high fidelity, just bah into something hardcore immediately right there. A beatdown track immediately. Though it sounds experimental, the way that you're describing the band itself. So I'm curious to what extent this is thrashy, punky, jazzy. Those are a bunch of different things, you know. This is effective as an opener, you know. Many such cases in hardcore, you end up inadvertently learning about electroacoustic music and concrete and noise music in a more, you know, academic-y jargon version of it through the intros and transitions and skits and outros of hardcore and metal albums. My first introduction to this world of music was literally Slipknot's Iowa. Just the long form ending, that track Iowa, the last track of Slipknot's Iowa, like 15-minute long form piece that just has like full drone minimalist outros, long form, you know, field recordings and found sound. You know, there's an entire dude in the band whose only job is to just chop samples, who's separate from the DJ, by the way. I always thought that was fascinating, but like the intros to those classic Slipknot albums are just straight up concrete. It's just straight up tape music, you know, and it works thematically because there's a lot of unsettling elements to those sounds, and then it just like breaks your face immediately with the second track going into the heavy drop right off the top, you know, or right after the intro. They're effective, you know. Noise is a great, or hardcore and metal are great gateways into more extreme, less rhythmic, less song oriented music, and oftentimes it's through these tape and electroacoustic elements that are sprinkled in there for the sake of a good intro or outro or sort of sketch. That's what the guitar guy calls me. Which one? The guy who just chops up samples and shit. Are you doing live electronics in the band? Like, are we making like noisecore here? Because that's fucking sick. I want to hear the whole band. You got any recordings of the band? Any of just demos we can hear? Because a noise guy in the hardcore band, fantastic role, you know, fantastic. Yeah, dude, you're throwing in live electronics in the hardcore band, like that's fun as hell. You know, I'm sure there's some purist hardcore guys out there. They're going to say like, oh, there's the other fucking noise guy who wants to be in hardcore. Can't be a real hardcore guy like me. Nah, fuck that. I love me some hard. Full of Hell, one of my favorite bands. I guess they're more grindcore and noisecore than traditional hardcore. But they have so much noise. In fact, they have like full Eurorack on stage half the time. Fantastic groups. Saw this grindcore band called Knoll, Knoll, and their lead vocalist Jamie, who also looks and acts like Nosferatu on stage. Also got the live electronics for the pure noise breakdowns, and even just his live transitions. Knoll is fucking sick. Yeah, really good guys. I actually played a show with their guitarist in Nashville at the same show that Allred played at. Full circle, Nashville, filled with weirder freaks than you'd imagine. It's not just honky tonks and hot chicken. There's also some weird ass dungeon synth and noise at grindcore and fucking open tuned outsider guitar, Americana, all sorts of shit. Yeah, Tegan, let's hear the band. Let's hear not just this. You're teasing us right now. Let's hear the full thing. You know, I think that would be. I want to see some footage. Y'all play live? Do you guys do you guys do shows yet? You should. Shows are fun. And there's always a hardcore show, even in the smallest towns or the, seemingly smallest scene regions. Hardcore will never die. So as long as we got some angsty white boys out there. Hardcore's for everybody, no doubt. And I love to see developments in eclectic ethnic backgrounds and class backgrounds and genders and things like that. But in the small towns, in the rural areas, we need that outlet, we need these third spaces. Our boys are lonely. Hardcore is a fantastic way. You got footage? Let's see the band, Tegan. Send the footage to the Discord. We're going to put it up in the queue for next time. Cause I want to see it and hear it. I obviously want to hear it first and foremost, but would love to see how you're implementing live electronics into the hardcore context. Many ways to do it, not only one way to do it. Good shit, man. Loving this. I think it would be cool to have this not even as an intro, but like as a long form track that just has a minute and 42 seconds section A into the formal drop of the band itself. Do this live, give us some full form noisecore here, why play? You're already just the way that you're already describing it. It's clearly not meant to be a purist hardcore band. So find ways to implement that live, dude. I think that would be fucking sick. Coming through a PA, this is where the sonic violence is totally acceptable, Basically the only two places where it's really acceptable, noise and hardcore. Pure, degenerate, deafening walls of sound for the sake of themselves. It's therapeutic, But I'm a big fan of implementing the live electronics into that, is all I'm saying. And Tegan, if you don't listen to Full of Hell or Knoll, you should. And that goes for everybody. Heavy music can be fun. Even if it's not your main bag, there's good context for it. When you're at the gym, when you're running, when you're pumping iron, things like that. You're going for a long walk when you're pissed off, Loud music is good. Loud music serves a strong purpose. There's all sorts of loud musics out there. Good stuff, Tegan. Want to hear more. All right. I think that's it for the evening. Got 4 submissions. Good stuff. Fantastic work, everybody. Be sure to reread the monthly project prompt with Joseph Allred up on the monthly project thread on the Discord. And hope you have a wonderful week. Enjoy the beginnings of summer. Drink lots of water. Spend time with your friends and family. Spend time with your pets if you got them. You know, happy Father's Day again to anybody out there who's a dad or an uncle or a father figure. Hope everybody has a wonderful week. I will see you back at it on the Patreon edition Sunday Group Critique Fight Club. And we'll talk then. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.